Spartans are descended from Hercules himself, taught never to retreat, never to surrender, taught that death on the battlefield is the greatest glory he could achieve in his life. Spartans, the finest soldiers the world has ever known.
Essentially, it's a story of 300 Spartans. The king takes his elite force to save his nation, to fight, they say, the most massive army ever assembled. He exists and lives and breathes and fights with his men. It's the opposite of Xerxes, who sits up in his high tower, who has slaves, who bribes, who seduces, who kills his men to achieve victory. And it's a great line in the movie when Xerxes says,
"And I would gladly kill any of my own men for victory."
And I say, and I would
die for any one of mine.
And that, to me, is the essence of Leonidas.
The world will know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many. And before this battle was over, that even a god king can bleed.
She adores Leonidas, and she knows the Spartan code, you know, and it's freedom, and you fight, and you hold on to that belief, you know, so she lets him go with open arms, prepared for whatever is going to happen, you know.
Then what must a king do to save his world when the very laws he is sworn to protect force him to do nothing?
It is not a question of what a Spartan citizen should do, nor a husband, nor a king. Instead, ask yourself, my dearest love, what should a free man do?
Yeah, there's a moment in the movie that's not in the book necessarily. It's a moment that's in the book, but we kind of stretched it a little bit, where Leonidas is confronting the Persian messenger, and he's about to like kick him in the well, and before he does, you know, we put this moment in where he actually looks to Gorgo, because the way I explained it to Jerry and to Lena was that, like, look, you know, guys, you know, it's easy for him to just go like, I'm gonna go start a war and like go fight, but you know, who it's hardest on is who's left behind, you know, like who's got to deal with sort of the repercussions of that decision.
You threaten my people with slavery and death. Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
This is Sparta!
This was the beginning of a process for me, and now I'm a fanatic over military history. And I feel like a student. I've been reading about everything from Troy to Okinawa, and it just gets better. Studying military history is studying human history, because most of what we do is kill each other.
Spartans! Lay down your weapons!
Persians! Come and get them!
They had the greatest empire the world had ever seen, and so they wanted to annex Greece, and Spartans said no, and managed to lure them into a little gap and beat a 1,000,000-man army with 300.
Hell of a good start.
Our film, first of all, sets up what a Spartan is, and it's very extreme what they went through. It would very much be frowned upon today, but in the context of what happened in history, it's a phenomenal setup, and you see there were no soldiers ever like these guys, and the training, the endurance, and their toughness. So you set all that up, and immediately you're aware of where you sit with these guys. And then the scenario unfolds of, okay, here's the perfect challenge. This massive army invading from the north, the Persians, who they hate anyway, and who hate them. And they have to go and do what is their dream, essentially, which is to die in the perfect battle.
A new age has begun. An age of freedom. And all will know that 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
When they explained the story, and then it then showed me the comic book, and immediately you see the cover and you just see these guys marching, and you think, oh wow, what is this?
We're in for one wild night.